Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Average Joe Mechanic here. Today we have the 2007 Dodge Nitro, 2007 Dodge Nitro 3.7 liter V6. Today we're going to do a radiator swap out. The old one has a small crack that's leaking. Once it starts running and gets hot, it'll just push out some of that coolant all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and swap that out. Real quick here, I've already taken everything apart, and I'm just going to talk you through step by step to make it easier on you when you start this process, or if you decide to start this process. All right. First things first. Look down here at the very bottom. See where this coolant hose here is running off. On the radiator itself, my drain cock was blocked, and it would not drain out the coolant, which would be on this side of the radiator. If it was in here, it has a drain cock down here at the bottom on the radiator that you just twist it and it'll drain out. But this one was clogged up, so what I did was right here, I just took this big hose off the radiator and let it drain out through the radiator. And right here I got the old one right here, so you can see what I'm talking about here. Right down here at the bottom, right here, this is that drain cock right here, but it was clogged up, so it wouldn't work. So what I did was I left it connected and disconnected this hose and let the radiator, the coolant run out through this hole while it's disconnected. And that's all it was to it. And over here, this is the old one here. There's a crack somewhere in here that I could not find and or find a way to seal it up. So I went ahead and just bought a new one to get this one replaced out. Okay, and this is the old radiator, and I'll have the new one in here in just a second. Very simple, very easy. All right. Once that coolant has drained down enough where you can actually take it out, and one key note here is you're not going to get all of it out. So once you disconnect this hose and it runs out and it stops running, it's still going to be some left inside the radiator. So when you pick that radiator up and take it out, it's still going to have some coolant in it. So you're still going to spill some, and that's just what it is. All right. Now, once you get that disconnected, get that running out of here, get the coolant drained out, your next step is going to be is take out the reservoir for your washer fluid and your coolant refill right here. And I think you can see here, I got 1, 2, and I got 3 screws that are T20, those are star head screws that needs to come out. Okay. Also on this side, you have your washer fluid motor. You're going to have to disconnect your water hose from this side and that side. And then on this side over here on your coolant side, this is your overflow line. So you're going to have to disconnect that line and hook it the way I got it hooked here, so it doesn't spill out the remaining of your coolant in the reservoir. All right. And that's a pretty easy step. All right. And once you get that out of the way, the next big step is removing this grill. Getting the grill off, real simple. You only have, you have 1, you have 2, and you're going to have 3, 4, 5 of those locking pins that lock it in place. That's going to be locked here, here. You may have one here, here, and on the very end. Okay. Once you get those out, and then come back, and these are your headlights here. Your headlight screws, take those screws out, one on each side, one on that side. Take those out. This will pop right out of here. Real easy. Okay. Once you pop that out, don't take it completely out, because you have to disconnect on each side your lights. The lights on the outside. You got your blinker lights, your headlights, and your fog lights here. You don't want to disconnect that and tear these off. So make sure you disconnect those once you pop that that grill out on all the sides. Where's the other one? Right here at top. And these are all easy to get out. See right here, that red tab there. Push that red tab up and then depress right there and it'll slide right out. Same thing on this one here. You're going to just push up on this red tab here and then press right here on the black part behind it. Comes right out. Same thing here. You're going to push up on this red tab, press down here in the black in between, it slides right out. And that process is done. And that'll take out the entire grill and everything will come out. Okay. Now, once you get that grill off, the next step is going to be get this fan out of here. The fan is right here. It's real simple to get out. You only got 2 screws holding this fan in. I'm going to show you here. You got 1 screw on this side right here, and you have the other screw same side right here. Okay, got screw there, and then also on the back here you got a connection, your fan connection right here, and disconnect that. Once that's connected, you disconnect it, the 2 screw here and your screw on this side is out, and you disconnect this, this fan will slide right out. No problem. All right. Now, once you slide that fan out, the next big thing is going to be is right here. This hose right here is going to be holding that radiator in place. And it's going to be a real problem, because what I did was I tried to remove it from here, but this gets so hot that this is seized up and I couldn't get this to come off. So I had to get it off from this end, okay? And real quickly, if you can imagine, the radiator is still connected to this, so I had to push this back and get my clamps. This piece right here is not going to be here. It's going to be on this opposite side. There's no way to get my hand in from here or the bottom to get this off from the other side. So what I have to do is take the radiator, push it back, get some slack on it, and then I can take these off pretty easy, okay? And before you get to that step, I went one step too far here. On the radiator itself, you're going to have it connected to this condenser, okay? So what's going to have to happen is, on that condenser, before we get to that point, you're going to have a screw right here on your radiator, and you're going to have a screw, get it on this side. You're going to have one screw here for the radiator and one screw here. That's going to hold us in. So once you take those screws out, this will flex. It'll move some. It'll move back and forth, give you some room. Okay. Once you get that room, and let me get it to where it's going to sit in the vehicle so you can see a better picture of it. It's going to sit just like this, right? So once I take this screw out and this screw out, I can push it back some. Once I push it back, I need to remove this screw from the condenser. Okay. And at the very bottom, there's another screw down here that I got to remove from the condenser. On this side, it's just clips. It's clipped in here, and down here, it's clipped in right there. So once you get these screws out on this side here and down there, the condenser will come right off, and this radiator will slide right out of the hole with no problem at all. Just keep that in mind. One alibi though, on this Dodge Nitro here, this piece right here, this plastic piece here, it has some these locking nuts here. So this is the condenser. This is one screw here, and then down in there, at the very bottom down here, you can't see it too well, but there's the other screw hole down there. You can see it. Okay, this thing right here is going to be blocking the hole up. So while you're trying to get that out of there, this thing's going to be flopping back and forth and getting in the way. So you're going to have to bend this back out of the way to get down to that last screw. And that is a doozy. That is a doozy. Okay. And now back to what I'm talking about. Once you take that bottom screw out, this condenser comes off, and the radiator come off, and you can push it back and get this hose disconnected. So you may have to leave this hose on until you get the condenser removed from the radiator, okay? And again, I'll say this one more time. You may have to leave this hose hooked up on the top half until the condenser is disconnected from the radiator. That way you got some more slack to move this hose around and push it out of the way, okay? And that's it in a nutshell. Pretty easy job. A lot easier than what I thought it was. But yeah, that's it all in a nutshell. What else? Am I missing anything? Oh, one quick note. Once you get started, it's going to look like this is all connected to the radiator itself. Do not disconnect any of this stuff. Do not disconnect this, any of these hoses, these inline hoses here. Do not disconnect that. That's your that's your coolant and your AC compressor. You do not want to open this up. Do not open up or disconnect any of that. You don't have to, okay? That's one of the good things about this Dodge Nitro. Is not connected. The radiator and the compressor is not connected to where you have to disconnect the coolant lines. And that's one of the things you don't want to do, unless you have somebody certified to handle coolant and stuff like that. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. The only problem I had, like I said, was getting this hose disconnected from here at the bottom, because the drain cock was stopped up. But once I got that out of there, and once I figured out a way to get around this plastic piece here, everything else is pretty simple. No hiccups at all. Yeah. Oh yeah, and this fan connection here, this fan disconnect here, you can't see it, but it's one of those depressed. You have to depress it in from the top. I don't know if you can see it here, but you have to press it in. See those little teeth in between there? You have to press down in between here with something to get this to slide out. That's the only problem, because you can't see it from up here. Once it's connected, you can't see anything. So I'm up here trying to yank on it and press here and here and here. And I took some pliers, no, not pliers, some flathead screwdriver and just pressed in here, and it came right out, no problem. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Nothing else I'm missing. The only tools you're going to really need for this thing is a flathead screwdriver. You're going to need a 10mm socket. You're going to need a 11/32 socket for the radiator screws that's holding it in place, and you're going to need a T20 for these screws that go here, here, and here, holding in your reservoir. And you're going to need a flathead screwdriver to help remove some of these tabs that are kind of stuck and hard to remove, but that's all you're going to need. Any questions, comments, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.